Yeah, welcome everyone. I take this moment to express my sincere appreciation to all participants for your interest in the dairy conversation, tagged Sustainability Solutions of the Dairy Development, focus on TG ARLA challenges and progress for socio-economic prosperity in Nigeria through dairy development. My name is Solomon Oyiniro. I'm the Managing Director, CEO of Usua Foods, and the coordinator of the Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology Dairy Thematic Group. Thank you and welcome once again.
I just want to take a brief, I want everybody to know what this conversation is all about. The conversation started about 5 years ago in 2019, where in a global dairy congress in Abuja. And after that, the Central Bank of Nigeria gave some global dairy industries licenses, 6 of them in Nigeria, to go into backward integration in Nigeria. And we have TG ARLA is one of them. And TG ARLA has come to show the world the challenges and progress that they have done in Nigeria in dairy backward integration. So kindly permit me to read the profile of Mr. Slurry to us. Mr. Slurry Tigotsin, the cow whisperer, is a senior manager at ARLA Foods. He's both educated farmer and has MSc in agronomy from the Royal Danish Veterinary and Agricultural University. He is a dairy farm management expert and has 29 years of experience within international work within that field. He has long experience within international work and is currently in the Standing Committee of Farm Management within IDF and a co-leader for the IDF action team on heat stress in dairy cattle. He has been working as advisor for dairy farmers in many countries and has furthermore been involved in development work regarding dairy farming in many developing countries. Along his work as advisor, he has been teaching on different levels, both college and university, since 1998, and giving lectures, speeches, and practical seminars in many countries in different continents, focusing on his field of expertise. For decades, he has been focusing on providing farmers and other professional knowledge by diligent article writing for newspapers, professional agricultural magazines, and home pages handling agricultural matters, leading to more than 2,000 short articles and over 500 professional articles about agriculture, many about dairy farming issues. Between 2017 and 2021, he worked for ARLA Foods as the head of China Denmark Milk Technology Corporation Center, a joint venture between dairy companies ARLA Foods and the Chinese dairy company Mengniu. The CDMTCC's main goal was to improve milk production and productivity in China on all levels within milk quality, animal welfare, environmental aspects, and efficiency. Since early 2021, he has been leading a revolutionary project in Nigeria that includes heading the Department of Raw Milk Supply and Production that has the main task to develop the raw milk operation of ARLA Foods in Nigeria, including operation of yogurt factory and building up ARLA's first own dairy farm with 500 cows. Through his position, he sits in the management team of ARLA in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, please let us welcome a global dairy professional and the cow whisperer, Mr. Snorri Sigurdsson. Thank you for joining us, sir. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the introduction. I'm happy to be here and happy to give you a little bit insight into our operations. Let me share my screen so you can see the slides. It's coming up here, I hope. Maybe you can give me a heads up if you can see the slides.
Perfect.
Perfect,
Yeah, we
very
can
good.
see your slides, sir.
Very good. So like I said, my name is Snorri Sigurdsson, and I'm actually from Iceland in Northern Europe. And I have been, through my work, I got this reputation as a cow whisperer because I've been working with cows and I kind of understand how cows work. But let's first, I want to give you a little bit of insight into ARLA Foods. Maybe you know us, maybe you don't, but we are a cooperative. We have been working together, farmers that own the company since the 1880s. So we have quite some years on the journey. We have operations in 7 countries, meaning that our owners, they are dairy farmers in 7 different countries, and they all work together to create this great company, which is today the 4th biggest in the world. And we have our owners are about 8,500, 8,900. We are always getting less and less, but bigger and bigger each farm. And you can see on the deviation there how they are divided. So about 1/4 are Danish farmers, about 1/4 are Swedish farmers, 1/4 is UK farmers or British farmers, and then 1/4 are from the 4 different countries there: Germany, Belgium, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands, all colored with green. We have many major global brands that you probably recognize. Some of them are like Starbucks. Well, we don't own the coffee shops, but we own the drinks that are made in cans from Starbucks. We have the famous brand Puk, cheese brand, very well known, Castello, Lurpak butter, and of course our own ARLA. We are quite big in revenue, 11, 12 billion euros, and our colleagues are well over 20,000 in the world. We are also, what is a little bit special about ARLA is because of our Danish roots, Denmark was the first country to establish laws regarding organic milk production. That means production without using artificial fertilizer and herbicides and pesticides, and very, very strict on if you use medication, how you treat your cows and how you treat your animals. Denmark is a leading country when it comes to that matter, and we are the absolute biggest producers of organic milk all over the world. But let's go back to Nigeria. We are and have been here for quite some time, and our brand Dano, as you probably know quite well, is well established in the mindset of Nigerian people. We have been here in full power since 2015 when we started our cooperation with Tolaram company. You might know Tolaram, the owners of Indomie, which probably everybody knows here on the call. To name some, they have many, many other brands also. But to make a long story short, we have since 2015 built up a very, very flourishing business here in Nigeria. And what I want to talk about is our backwards integration, how we have been working in Nigeria with the local communities, with the local farmers, how we have been helping them to get better and increase milk production here locally. We are, our headquarters are in Lagos, as you can see there on the map, and then we are operating our raw milk operations. My department and my employees, they are all up in Kaduna State. That's the only state we basically work in. We have concentrated our efforts in that state and have a very good cooperation with the local government in Kaduna. And we run there a dairy factory, and we buy milk from local farmers and produce yogurt out of the local milk. We also have cooperation with the local government there in a project called Damao. I will talk a little bit more about that later, where the goal there is to make establishment for farmers that don't have land today. As you know, a lot of pastoralist farmers are wandering around in the Sahel belt, and today, 2024, we basically don't have space for that kind of way of farming anymore. So this is an attempt to help them to be settled farmers, and then of course our own dairy farm. What have we achieved? What have we done? We can split it up in several different things, but mainly regarding local farmers in Nigeria, we have been eager to help them to get more knowledge, get more education on milk production, also to improve the milk quality. We have been working with the local authorities and with different NGOs on how to improve their livelihood, and by having better access to water, better access to grazing, and so on. And I'm going to show you a little bit more maybe about that. One of the main things that I have been doing in so many other countries is to train farmers and train the trainers, train people that are teaching in universities, and advisors working with the local farmers, because that way we can reach out to much more audience than if I go directly to every farmer. I cannot cope with everything, but this kind of work I've been doing in so many different countries with great success. It is actually quite easy to improve and increase milk production if you put your mind to it, and if you have the right tools to do it with. One of the things we have been working on here locally is to improve raw milk quality. When you buy milk from local farmers in Nigeria, one of the challenges is that it's warm, it's not cooled down. So they have to deliver milk 2 times a day, or maybe only after morning milking. But sometimes they have a long distance to a delivery point, and then from the delivery point to the dairy factory can be maybe up to several hours drive. And milk is as good product as it is, raw milk. It goes bad quite quickly if it's not cooled down and if it's not kept in proper containers. So one of the things we have done is to, in cooperation with Sahel, which is financed by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, is to exchange plastic bottles, milk jars, paint jars or Coca-Cola bottles with stainless steel to make sure that, or reduce the risk of having milk that goes bad quicker. It's a clean product when it leaves the cow, but if it comes in contact with something, it can go bad very, very quickly. Another thing is, because it's hot, the product, if we cool it down rapidly below 4 degrees, we can almost completely stop the process of the milk going bad. In the countryside, like in the bush in Kaduna, there is not access to normal electricity, no grid, and many of the farmers, they don't have any ways of producing electricity. So we have been working with solutions regarding using the solar panels, to power up small cooling stations, so we can cool down the milk, and with that improve the milk quality, and we get less wastage of milk. Wastage of milk, if you look worldwide in these countries, I've been working in Bangladesh and Indonesia and India and China, of course, and many other countries. we are quite often looking at about 5% of the milk from leaving the cow until it comes to the consumer is basically waste. And that's a horrible thing when people are lacking this nutritious product. So everything we can do to improve that path from cow to consumer is a win for the world and win for everybody. I said before that we are also working with the local authorities in Kaduna on this project that is called the Mao Household Dairy Farming Project. This is an experimental project, and it's absolutely one of a kind worldwide, where the government has allocated land that was designed for forestry research, and that never it never went into anything. And this land has now been it has been divided up in areas. You can see on the screen these circles. These circles are basically small cooperatives, each of them about 20 and up to 40 farms. And then these small cooperatives work together to produce milk. Each farmer has his or her own cows, 3 to 5 cows each, and imported cows, not local cows, but imported cows, so they yield quite much more. And then from there, we will procure the milk and process it in Damao, that is in the northeast corner of Kaduna State. We have already, we're quite well on the way. These are photos taken last August, I think, where you can see the construction are well on the way. The government is building these houses and allocating farmland to each farm. Each farmer gets, you can imagine it's like a cake, and each one gets a slice. And then each slice is about 5 hectares of land, and there they can establish themselves. These farmers that are today don't have land and don't have the opportunity to buy land, so they can move into this by special selection process, and then they basically are paying off the cost by the income they get through milk and meat. No one has moved in yet, but we have high hopes that the first farmer will move in Q3 this year, in September or so, August or September, and we are actually quite excited about this project. Then if we come back to our own project, the Arla farm, this is, and we say it with proud, that this is the most advanced dairy farm in Africa, not only in Nigeria, but in Africa. And it's a demonstration farm, which is showcasing how you can produce milk in Nigeria in a totally different way than we have seen before. Our farm is designed for 500 cows, about 400 milking cows, and then 100 of them are not producing milk because they're high pregnant. And if needed, we can expand it up to 1,000 cows, or about 2,000 animals. We have rented from Kaduna State 400 hectares of good land that we are using for this farm to produce the roughage and produce the feed needed for the cows on site. This is a drawing we made from the site, where you can see it's divided in 3 parts. It's about 24 hectares. Someone is not muted. Maybe I'll just mute this one. I did that. Here we go. So this is 24 hectares of land where we have inside like a high fence or well-guarded fence, our farm, which is the bottom half there. Then we have our village. It's called the Arla village. This is where our employees live. And then on top, This is actually to the east in northeast Kaduna. North side is there to the left. And in the east part, we have a yogurt factory that we are currently constructing now that will take all the milk from the Arla farm and also all the milk from the Tamao project. And then we have allocated extra space for the future if we want to build a bigger factory. And we are mainly looking at a UHT. If you look at the drawing there below, the big buildings, the blue ones, I don't know if I can have, no, maybe you can see the pointer. But these blue buildings are the ones that we have already constructed. And I have already designed it so that the green buildings are the ones that we can build later if we want to expand the farm to 1,000 cows. This is an overview of the site. You can see a lake there in the background. It's about 20 square kilometers lake, which is providing the important water for our fields. We can pump water from this lake up to the fields and irrigate the plants using solar power. So it's a very, very green solution. Here in the center, you can see where the basketball court is and actually a helicopter platform. If someone would like to land there on a helicopter, that's the Arla village. And then to the left, you can hardly see it there. This is a photo from last year, is the construction site for our dairy plant. I said before, this is the most advanced dairy farm in Africa. And how can I claim this? Well, first of all, the design of the farm and the farm buildings are extraordinary because we have used not only the higher standard when it comes to animal welfare, but also added to it. So we went the extra mile to make sure that our animals will be very, very comfortable and good. We feed them with corn silage. And it's not just the same corn as we make for humans, but it's specially designed for cows. So this silage is this corn type or corn variant, even though it looks delicious there on the screen, is actually not very tasty if people would try to eat it. We irrigate the fields. Right now, we can irrigate about 50 hectares of land, and from after this rainy season, we can increase that to about 80 hectares of land because we're adding to it. Our cows and all our animals are kept in these buildings on sand from the Sahara that comes with Harmattan every year, adds to it, and has been doing for millions of years. So there is no lacking of sand in Nigeria, and that sand we take and we filter it and we put it under our cows so they are the most comfortable as possible. They are quite big, these animals. Our biggest cow today is about 800 kilos, which is 3 times bigger than a local Fulani cow, if you know them, the white ones with the big horns. We also provide all our animals access. They're free. They're not tied up. It's not allowed to tie any animals in our system. And they have all access to brushes, rotating brushes for older animals and stable brushes for smaller animals. So they can, if they're itchy or if they need to clean their fur, they can get that from the brushes. We also cool them down with fans because cows, if you want to make a lot of milk from dairy cows, any temperature above 20 degrees is actually pressuring the production possibility. And in our case, when we are going for very high yield, it's extra important to cool them. So we not only use fans, but we also actually use so-called wetting system. We spray them with water and then we blow air on them to keep them cold and comfortable, and they actually love it. The manure is taken out twice a day at minimum, sometimes even more often. The floors are scraped and then we collect the manure and we use it as fertilizer on the field. I said before we're going for high yielding cows, so to use some of the African breeds was not possible because they are basically designed by nature or by the evolution to be tough animals. The local breeds are really tough. They can survive without these fans I talked about, or without proper feed like corn. But on the downside is that they don't make much milk. A Fulani cow normally makes somewhere between 1.5 and 2.5 liters a day. The best ones in research station can go up to 6-7 kilos if they are extraordinarily well kept. Our cows are, however, from a totally different breed. It's called Holstein breed, and we bought them with our owners in Denmark and imported them. And these cows have the potential to produce 20 to 30 times more milk than the white Fulani cows every day. The best Holstein cows can produce as much as 100 liters in one day. So you can see the huge difference in production from the local cows until the imported foreign breeds. This is an example about one of our cows. Well, this is not our cow, but this is the same breed. This is from the breeding station we buy the semen from. We have our prospect to produce somewhere between 20 and 25 kilos every day by our first generation cows. When we go into second generation or second lactation, we will produce about 30 kilos because they're older and bigger. Pardon me. And then when the older the cow gets, usually the milk increases even more. So our goal is to get average from year 3 and upwards on this farm, 35 kg per day. But like I said, a cow like this you see on the screen, this is probably a cow that makes somewhere between 70 and 80 kilos a day average every day. Extremely good. Sometimes I say to the farmer, it's like the Ferrari of cars, if you know car brands, or the Rolex of watches. This is the state of the art, absolutely best cow in the world for milk production. Our farm, I said before, it's designed specially for comfort and welfare. And you can see there on the screen some of our facilities. This is the small calf building. This is where we keep the calves when they're young, up to 8-9 months. And then when they're heavy enough, they move to our next building. So we have like a rotation in our system. You can see some of the stationary brushes there. They are there, and the sand in the boxes. So everything is done to make sure that they are as comfortable as possible. And by that, we get the most out of the animals, most fastest growth, and potential highest milk. To benchmark again to local African breed, these animals are ready to be inseminated and impregnated around 12-13 months of age. And it's actually quite common here, like in Nigeria, by the local farmers, that they get their heifers pregnant between year 3 and 4. So we are basically speeding up the process and saving a lot of energy and work on bringing up animals. These animals are calving around 22 months of age, then they are starting milk production instead of age 4 or 5 in the local. Like I said, cow comfort is maybe our biggest and the most important part of this journey. And this is something we are focusing very much on also towards the local farmers. When I have a meeting with local farmers, I am always explaining to them, every time you tie up a cow, every time you restrict her access to food, every time you restrict her access to water, you are denying her of the potential of making milk. And even with the local cows that only make 1.5 to 2.5 kg, farmers could probably easily go up to about 4 kg. It doesn't sound much compared to these cows, of course, that you see on the screen, but that's a lot of percentage in increase for the local cows. A little bit about our journey. When we started this, there was nothing out there. You can see on the picture that to the left in the top corner that this was a bushland, and the reason we did build that was because we wanted to do this in very good harmony with the local communities and local farmers. So of course we didn't want to take land into use that was already in use by local farmers. So that's why we chose this land a little bit in the bush, And then we have been since 2021 working on the land. 2022 starting to build the buildings, and 2023 we got the buildings done. You can just see there some of the photos of the journey we had. The heifers, like I said before, they were bought in Denmark. We bought them, we flew them in, we rented the plane and filled the one plane up, a big Boeing 747 that landed in Kano Airport in the middle of the night, and then were driven to the farm. And all 216 did that with honors. All of these heifers had a good flight journey and flight experience, and that was very good. Then we formally opened the farm in May last year. It's almost a year. In 10 days, we have a 1-year anniversary of the formal opening of the farm, and we were honored by both the governor of Kaduna State at that time and the Emir of Sasu and more other high-level guests that came and were with us that day in a extremely good weather and very well very good ceremony that we had that opening. The first calf, some of those heifers we brought in were pregnant. The first calf on ground was born in August last year. So in August this year, we will probably make her pregnant. So she is ready to give birth in 2025 as the first completely locally born, and then second generation coming out. And then we have our first calf that was made on ground. 1/3 of the heifers we came in were pregnant. The other third were only 10, 11 months old. So when we have made them pregnant on ground here with imported semen, we use so-called sexed semen. That is a semen that is only, or a majority of it contains female semen cells. So it's been taken through special process. And actually our ratio now is 91.7% of the calves born are heifers, and only 8.3% is bulls. If you compare that to local conditions, usually about 52% are bulls and 48% are heifers. So you can see the ratio is huge in our favor. And this is because we are growing the farm. We only imported one batch of heifers, and then from there we will build up the farm. You can call it from inside out. All our cows have names. All our animals have names, bulls or heifers. They are all have names, and this is this calf born on ground got the name Adama, which is I think for Hausa it's queen or something like that. The local my employees are in charge of naming. But we're talking also about sustainability, and being in the bush means that we are off the grid and we need to produce our own energy. Right now we do that with, or we did that with diesel until March this year, and then since then we have had solar panels that cover partly our energy needs. Potential about 60% of our energy need will come from solar panels now within this year, and then in the future we plan to expand our panels to you can see it's only on part of one of the roofs there. That's a 250 kV solar power plant, and hopefully we go fully green, 100% green on electricity within few years. We are also building, like I said, a yogurt factory in the area. This is because if we reduce the driving distance from the farmer to the factory, we can pay as high milk price as possible. A lot of cost of the milk, a lot of the price for the farmer goes in logistic cost. And so if you have a factory close to the farmer, you can higher the profitability of the farms. So the Damao farmers, the ones that will move in Damao area, they have the potential of getting the highest possible milk price in Nigeria because we are building a factory right next to them. It's only about 3-4 kilometers away from the farmer that is furthest away, which is basically nothing if you look at conditions in Nigeria. This factory is, we're planning to open it in Q3 and products to be rolled out before end of this year. Another thing which is worth mentioning is that when you have these kind of animals, they are bred and have been bred for hundreds of years, especially for meat and milk production. The way we slaughter animals and the way we handle the meat needs to be very, very carefully done. So what we have decided is to be in charge of that part ourselves, not to sell meat, but to make sure the animals are slaughtered in a humane and good and swift way, and the meat quality kept on the highest level, highest conditions possible. You might know that there's a lot of meat actually imported already to Nigeria, especially for our customers that want quality meat or want have some special requirements. And by having this processing facility there, we will be able to meet that. We are not only doing this for ourselves, not at all. This is a visiting farm and this is a visiting facility. So we get a lot of guests already, both high-level farmers from other countries, even from other within the country and from other countries in Africa. Farmers that want to learn how they can change their way of farming, how they can go into farming in a different way. And even though these are a lot of white guys on the photo there, this is our security team that came for a visit. That was the photo I had at hand. We welcome every guest, and we have so many requests also for students to come in and to make research. We are already making an MOU with NAPRI, the National Research Institute, which is actually placed in Kaduna, veterinary university, and other high-level educational institutes that are interested in using our facility for research, using our facilities for teaching and training, and also just to learn. And with that said, I think my 30 minutes are actually up. So I thank you for that. And yeah, well, now you can come with questions if you have.
Oh, the cow whisperer. We thank you for your time. You have really shared with us the challenges and progress from TG ARLA Foods in Nigeria. We are very proud about the progress that you have shared with us from the Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology, and we believe that the global audience that is hearing you is going to be proud about what you have done in Nigeria. The federal government too shall be very proud of what TG ARLA has done in Nigeria. The huge investments that you have invested in Kaduna State. Thank you for this presentation. In the meantime, there have not been any questions that has come from the chats, but we want to believe that there might be some people that will want to ask one or two questions from you. I can see some hands that are really raised now. My chapter chairman has raised his hands, and I think he wants to say some things. Sir, chapter chairman, you can unmute, sir.
All right, thank you, Snorri. I must say that this is revolutionary, very disruptive, and a game changer in the dairy industry. It's very captivating and fascinating, your presentation tonight. I must say that we've never seen dairy in this high-tech manner. So thank you very much for sharing with us. And you know, I'm just seeing that you're talking about things like cow comfort. You know, it's it's another level entirely. So, and that's the way to go. Yes, that's the way to go. I know a little bit about the Danish dairy industry, and I'm not surprised about what you are doing, which is a replica of what is happening in the Danish industry. Well done. Just a few quick contributions. One is, like he has rightly said, we want to have more collaborations. That's NIPST, and NIPST, we want to take our collaboration with TG ARLA to the next level. We want to see a lot of our members benefit in terms of technology transfer, in terms of IT with our students and all. I believe that behind this, behind closed doors, after this meeting, we should have such positive conversations. So thank you very much, Nori. Yes.
Welcome. Welcome.
Yes. Cow comfort. I want to say that I saw the part where you shared the meat. I didn't. You said the meat is not for commercial. So how do you end up with the meat that you harvest from the cow, since you are not selling them? One. Then the other one is I want to thank you for giving the locals the stainless steel replacement for what they've been using. But then again, I don't think that has solved the problem, because they also need to do the cooling before it gets to the factory. So yes, how are you helping in that area? Yes, the stainless steel thing avoids contamination, but the key thing, like you have said, is cooling, because there has to be a cold chain transfer from the cow to the industry. So all in all, I want to say thank you, Snorri, and back to you. Yes, Omar, to the coordinator.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir, for your question, sir. Snorri, are you going to take that question, or you want more questions in?
Your choice. You are in charge. What do you want?
Okay, please take that. Then after that,
sure.
we can go to other people. Thank you.
Yes. So first of all, we welcome all collaborations. We welcome all cooperations with institutes, research facilities, schools, and if it is at all possible to put it into our operations, we welcome that. Because for us, it's not only about our own business or business case, it's also about how we can share the knowledge and information so milk production gets more rationalized in Nigeria and increases. What I meant by selling meat, Dano, our company, is a dairy company, so we sell dairy products. We don't sell raw milk, but we sell dairy products. And that means we're not going to sell meat, but we're going to sell carcasses. So I will definitely sell the meat, but to someone that is specialized in distribution and selling meat further to the consumer. That's what I meant. So we're not going to go into selling you a good steak or a hamburger, but selling the carcasses. Slaughter it swiftly and properly, and cool it and stamp it with a veterinary certificate, and then someone else takes over to distribute it to the stores or ShopRite or whatever it's called, or restaurants. You're totally right, Chairman, that the cooling is still an issue, and it will be an issue until we find a good solution. So the solution of using milk cooling is definitely possible, but until today, it's actually quite expensive. So the milk volumes need to be higher. It's still too expensive for every farmer to have. So they still need to bring the milk to some kind of collection point. But I can visualize, I can foresee that there we could cool the milk down before it's taken on a journey to a dairy company, our company, or Alancet or Naturel, or whoever is processing it. If we do this in a proper way, we can actually increase the durability of the dairy products, which is essential to sustainability, and also for people so they can store it longer in their homes without the dairy products going bad. The uniqueness of the Damao project, where the farmers are so close to the factory, is that we will receive the milk 2 times a day. So they milk out the cows and they take the milk to us. It's only a few kilometers. And then we have a solar-powered ice bank system. So basically, we take the milk and we rapidly cool it down. Within minutes, it's under 4 degrees. So then we have a stable product. So that's the way we are going to do it. because we're so close to the farmers. So you can see there are like two possibilities. I think that was the comments or questions I had from you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very kindly.
Yeah, thank you, Snorri. I see somebody that is raising his or her hand up now. One Angela Ebundon. I think she has lowered her hand. I don't know if she wants to speak or maybe she wants to answer to.
Yeah, good evening, colleagues. I think my hands are still up. I'm Angela Ebudon. Thank you very much for the presentation. A very nice one, and I could see that is a capital intensive project, so which is also a good one for us as a country. So my question is for knowledge sake, I want to ask because from the presentation we could also see that the imported cows, their production rate for milk production is quite higher than our local cows here in Nigeria. So I want to like ask for knowledge sake, is there possibility, have you done any study in the time past of crossbreeding the imported cows to the local cows to see, okay, if it has been done before? That's the number one. And number two, I would also like to throw a light, if something like that, if a study like that has been done before, what is the production rate of a crossbreed cow? Maybe from experience, if you have had cows that are low rates of production with the high rates that have been crossbreeded in time past, so what does the production rate looks like for the milk? Thank you.
Yes, good question, Angela. Thank you for that. So the crossbreeding has been tried, and it has actually it has failed also. The main issue here is the size difference of the local cows and the high-yielding cows that are used today. They are so fast-growing, they are so big that it's not a good match, if you can put it like that. The size difference is about threefold. So to find a proper breed that is giving small enough calves so the cows can calve them without having a C-section, because then it's so costly. So the challenge is basically that the local breed is not very suitable for crossbreeding. And we have many examples from other countries where they had similar situations. We had a local cow breed in China that was very, very, almost everywhere in China. And they tried also crossbreeding with a negative outcome. In Indonesia and Bangladesh, more or less the same. So what these countries or farmer organizations and governments have basically done is they have replaced the breed. Instead of doing so much more work on crossbreeding, they have imported new breeds. A breed like this, that the breed we have, is only suitable for farms with high level management. You need very, very good management to keep these cows. It's, again, if you compare it to a car, most people can fix a Volkswagen Golf 1980 or 1990 model, but if you have a brand new electric vehicle, it's not easy to fix. You need to take it to a special shop. And these cows are a little bit the same. So these cows we have are very suitable for established farms with high level of management, and then they can be extremely profitable. In the wrong hands, they will suffer in the Nigerian weather. They will suffer if you feed them in the Nigerian way. So they are actually not good for that. But there are other breeds that are actually quite suitable for, like for the Damao project, we have been looking at South African crossbreed, which is a mix between Holstein, low-yielding Holstein, and Jerseys. Jersey, which is a breed from the UK. These cows seems to be quite strong and fitting for the conditions. There is also some breeds that are mixed breed from India and Brazil, which could be very suitable for the conditions we have. So we have to level up. Driving a Ferrari, even though if you can afford it, is not for everybody. So you need to be extremely good driver if you want to drive in Formula One, but you can have different types of cars for different types of people and different types of management style. So basically, I think that's how I can answer your question. So crossbreeding import of semen has been done here since the 1980s, but the impact has not been very, very clear. Another thing in this is actually the culture. And I have talked with many through a talk or someone that has interpreted for me to Hausa, to local farmers that own the Fulani cow. Some of them have this opinion that it's kind of a sin to change the cows or if you mix them with something. So these farmers will probably never change. So these farmers will not carry the milk production for the future of Nigeria. You need to have a different mindset into this, and not. If you have this strong feeling about your cows, we should not try to convince them to do otherwise, because it goes against their beliefs. Yeah.
Slory, thank you so much for this educative sessions that you providing at a global stage. There is a question here from Mrs. Amoreolua, which says, how has the heightened insecurity in the north, especially in Kaduna, affected your operations? As in, how has all the insecurity in the north affected TG ARLA operations in Nigeria?
To be honest, it has almost not affected us at all. We are in northeast Kaduna, close to the border to Kano. It's a both very peaceful area. It's a fruitful farming area, and level of crime or thefts or something worse than that is extremely low there. So that's one thing. We have also, of course, we take our precautions. I'm not going to go in details how we do that, but we have, since we started this journey in 2021, we have had no incidents that are or clashes with anyone out there. I run the farm. We run the farm in Arla with local people. We have a lot of people working for us from the local communities. So we keep a tight and good relationship to all of them. The government has also funded vigilantes in the area, so they are patrolling in case. But to my knowledge, they have not had any clashes with anyone since for the last years. Fulani farmers that are coming from a distance or traveling through, there is a cattle route there that the farmers go up to the north, and they go or northeast and go back when it dries up. Sometimes they have maybe been a little bit too frisky with grazing their cows on our land, but nothing we haven't been able to handle and explain and go through. So in short, I think we should not, of course, underestimate the risk or threat, but the area seems to be quite good, and we're very happy with it so far.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm just thinking about from your presentation, the Damau household that you presented. I think ARLA has a session in Damau. The local farmers, are you advising them based on feeds and nutrition for you to get your own milk, because they bring milk to you twice a day? So do you have a farm for them where they graze, or they graze on their own and bring the milk to your farm?
Yeah. The short answer to this is that we provide advices only, and our involvement in the farms or the farming operations on their side is when we buy the milk only 2 times a day. However, they have access to land and common land, and the project is designed for making zero grazing, so-called. So they cultivate land in one place and bring the crops to the cows every day from that land. And there are actually several advisors on the project, because this is a development project, that are in charge of that. But ARLA, our commitment to this is basically only to advise. If they need advice on something, we can provide it. Otherwise, we are there simply to buy the milk. So even though I advised how it was built and how it was designed, I'm not more involved in that.
Okay. So thank you. There's another question that came in from Mr. Abiri. Says, do you have Fulanis working for or with you?
Yes.
So that's answered. Thank you so much. There is another person that has, okay, what is the arrangement put in place to prevent intruder? I think this has been answered. What is the arrangement put in place to prevent intruders by the company and government local concerning safety of people and animals? I think this Snorri has taken care of this. There is
I can maybe add to that. Like it also said the government. Like we in the beginning back in 2021, we had several visits by people claiming to be from authorities or claiming to be from the government, asking for something and usually asking for money. But because we have so good and tight relationship with the Kaduna authorities, the government there, we know exactly what to expect, and they are backing us up, and they are making sure that we don't have any issues there. And today, the last 2 years, no one has. Everybody knows how the arrangement is, and it's quite clear. To prevent, let's say, if someone would want to steal a cow, it's going to be quite tough because we have fences, and we have high fences and CCTV and so on. So, but that's like how we monitor things. So that's no issue. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very, very much. We believe that with time, the investment that has been done in Nigeria would produce fruitful outcomes, because, as you have said, it's after 3 years that these Holstein braids can give a milk of about 100 liters. Okay. There is somebody that the hand has been raised. One Joy Obona. Please, can you speak up? What is this? Well, please, let's hear your question.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Snorri. Thanks for the insightful knowledge transfer, and kudos to ARLA for the good work they are doing here in Nigeria. Needs as a body, I'm sure we all appreciate it. So a quick one. I joined the meeting late, so I don't know if this particular question was addressed or maybe talked about. I saw a yogurt production that should be done or would be done in future in the plant. So I also wanted to ask, do you guys have any plans on producing cheese here at the factory in Kaduna? Thank you.
That's a good. Thank you very much. A good question. So far, the short answer is no, and that's basically based on the need for yogurt still in the market is quite high. and there are not many premium products out there that to make yogurt is actually a quite easy process. So you see a lot of yogurt out there, but premium categories are lacking. But we will definitely, when the milk increases in the area, we have to produce other food items out of our raw milk. And so far, we're looking into UHT milk because it's easy to distribute and it is easy to store without you have a cooler. If we make cheese or other products in a big bulk, we are limited to distribution in areas where people use refrigerators. And we want to reach out to as many in Nigeria as possible with milk. We are hoping that in the future, Nigerian government also has some school milk projects going to make sure that all kids are getting proper nutrition. I can just tell you one thing, that the Benin Republic government, they came for a visit, people from that government on Monday to the farm, because they're starting a school milk project in Benin Republic, where they want to make sure that all kids in school always get 1 glass of milk every day as a minimum, to make sure that their nutritional needs are met. So if we want to reach out to people so far away in the bush without electricity, a UHT, ultra heated milk is the key. Right now, of course, you know, we distribute powder, so you can stir it up and make milk. But I think for us, the next step will be UHT. But cheese, who knows, maybe in the future. I'm pretty sure that the journey Nigeria is on is exactly the same as the Chinese have been on, because I was in China. I can benchmark quite easily. Back in 1980s, they were very reliant on powder and are still to a high degree reliant on powder, imported powder. And that's fine. I mean, when you're building up your, it takes decades to build the milk production. But the consumption of dairy products in Nigeria and China were exactly the same as we see here. They were always going for drinking yogurt, and then they moved into UHT, and then they moved into butter and cheeses. But it takes decades to change the consumer's behavior. So I would not be surprised to see that here also. If I live long enough, and we would maybe scroll 20 years in front of, add 20 years to the time now, go to 2044 or 2050 or something, we would have a quite different consumer categories in Nigeria. The consumption per capita here is extremely low worldwide, also extremely low if you look at consumption in Africa in general. I think the consumption in Nigeria per capita of dairy products is about 1/3 of the average consumption in Africa. And we see every country that increases the consumption of dairy products all over the world, everywhere where it has increases. We have seen the living standards have increased, the learning capacity, the growth, and the longevity of the nations have also grown. So this is extremely much big key to nutritional status of nations around the world.
Oh, thank you, Snorri, for sharing this insight and deep knowledge for everyone. I think the government shall go into the school feeding program as you said. I don't know when they are going to start, but I think it should be part of the policy, that part of the nutrition policy that the government should look into. There are other value that TG ARLA can look into in dairy. I think as you have gone into yogurt, I think ice cream is one of them. If you're having that in the future, if you're having the plants in the future. So we can talk about later. We can talk about that later. Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, everybody that has joined this webinar. It's about time. We have spent some minutes above the time. I want to, before I am going to call on Ms. Samoriolua to give us the closing remarks, I want to specially thank Mrs. Yetunde Obubanwo, the Regulatory Affairs Manager, for the role, the special role she has played to bring this partnership together. I especially thank you for what you have done. We appreciate it. The Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology appreciate what you have done.
Yes, Mr. Solomon.
I personally appreciate what you have done.
Solomon, she's also a proud NIPSTAR. So, a proud NIPSTAR as well.
Oh, and if you want to, we shall give you maybe like a minute, or if you want to speak, we shall give you some time to speak if you want to speak.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, the NIFTA chairman, Lagos chapter, Mr. Solomon, and fellow NIFTAs. Firstly, I'd like to appreciate my colleague, Snorri, for this insightful knowledge to our professional colleagues. I'm so proud that he was able to delve into what we're doing concerning dairy development in Nigeria. And I'm sure if Snorri had time, he would have, gone deeper. He would have delved into other, activities. We are doing quite a lot in this area in Nigeria today. And I'm telling you that for us, we have felt we're just starting, and we're going, into more. And one good thing that we have seen is that the government, especially of Kaduna State, is fully in support of this project. We have the full, definitely, with the government involvement in this project, we believe the sky is not just the limit for us. But again, I would like to say thank you to showcase this great job that ARLA is doing.
Ms. Jesude, thank you so much for your time. But we heard all what you have said, and we thank you for what you have done. We thank TG ARLA Foods, what they are doing in Nigeria. We thank Snorri for his time. Please permit me to invite the Vice Chairman of the Lagos chapter, Mrs. Samoriolua, to give us closing remarks. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Solomon. Confirm if you can hear me clearly.
Please, we can hear you. We can hear you clearly.
Yes, thank you very much. I want to appreciate Mr. Snorri for this opportunity. Sincerely, it's a very, very fantastic training tonight. Very insightful knowledge transfer, and we all have gained so much from the webinar tonight. We are very grateful. And to Mrs. Yetunde for the role you have played. Mr. Solomon, the Dairy Thematic Group Coordinator, thank you very much for doing this again. We are enjoying the dairy conversation. I'm sure the backward, if you read what I wrote in the chat room, the backward integration has been a blessing to us in Nigeria because it's empowering our farmers, and it is getting better. Things have been done in a better way, better raw quality, quality of our raw milk is getting better and all that. And so we are very, very appreciative that TG ARLA has plunged into this, and you are doing all of this in Nigeria. We are very thankful for you, to work with our farmers. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. And for our webinar coordinator, thank you very much. For the overall coordinator, for our chapter chairman, for the support always. Thank you for all that you are doing. For everyone who attended this call, who are here, we say thank you. Those who have waited even till the end, we are very grateful to everyone. We believe that NIFT is open to collaboration.
with TG ARLA, and we trust that our students, our undergraduate students, will have opportunity of industrial attachment with TG ARLA. So more discussions will take place after this. We are very grateful. Thank you very much, and see you next time, everyone. Thank you.